Welcome to what promises to be the most realistic road to glory we have ever done on the channel. You guys love the Cambridge saves. I love the Cambridge saves for obvious reasons, being a Cambridge United fan, and we are taking them on to the next level. We've got lots of rules in place for this save. Some that you guys have had a very large impact on as well, thanks to the last video. Thank you very much for your patience in waiting for this first episode. If you're looking forward to the save, I'd very much appreciate a thumbs up on it. If you could drop over 1,000 likes on this first episode, that'd be banging. Of course, subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any of it. And come and join me live on stream on Twitch and YouTube to have your say in the moment, in real time. Links to everything will be in the description down below. You may well have imagined we have a brand new spreadsheet for this save as well, because we are tracking a lot of financial information. We're effectively disregarding all of the finances in game, and we're doing it all ourselves. I will make the spreadsheet available to you, as well as a model mock-up of how I've been entering the information in my testing, and also a screenshot of a blurb from the creator kind of letting you know how to input the information in. We will get there in a moment. First things first, I've created Gary Monk, who is Cambridge's real-life manager now. Yes, that Gary Monk is Cambridge United's real-life manager. I used a Pro Clubs mock-up thing from FIFA 20. It's not quite as accurate in FC24 as it is in FIFA 20, but it's Gary Monk-ish. So, the scenario at Cambridge United right now. We're effectively going to disregard all of the in-game objectives. I've tagged myself as unsackable in the live editor. We are on PC, so we can edit a handful of different things, which we have done. This is going to be a long-term save. In theory, it could be a longer-term save than anything we have ever done before. The starting lineup is as you see it on your screen there. There are some talented players in this squad, some big names in this squad as well. Yes, that's the Ryan Bennett, formerly of Leicester City in the Premier League. Yes, that's the Elias Kachunga, formerly of Huddersfield Town in the Premier League. Cambridge have got some quality players. In-game, they don't appear to be as highly rated as perhaps you would imagine they would be in real life. In fact, the highest rated player is youngster Liam Bennett, who has great promise. But we're going to start with a 4-2-3-1. That's the default formation for Cambridge. I have tweaked the tactics. We're playing wing play. Roles are all set up. Instructions are all set up as well. We hope to have a decent first season. In real life, Cambridge have been in League 1 now for 3 years, promoted from League 2, finished mid-table, then in the second season, avoided relegation on the final day. In the most recent season, avoided relegation with a couple of games to go, effectively, albeit mathematically they weren't safe. That said, we will have anticipations, ambitions, expectations of getting to the Premier League, but because we're doing things in a very realistic way, it's going to slow down the progress. This isn't going to be a promotion, boom. It's going to be a longer term project, which hopefully you guys will thoroughly enjoy. Now, what you'll want to know is how we're going about it. That being the rule set that we have set in place at present. These aren't in any particular order, so by all means, feel free to pause and have a closer look in detail if you would like to. I shall quickly run through some of them for you now. This is going to be a longer, more foundational opening episode, but we will have gameplay later on. We'll play our first league game of the season against Derby County, but let's set the ground rules, shall we? Again, they're not in any particular order here. I shall quickly run through them. Our initial back balance is going to be set by Football Manager because that's the more realistic data set to go with. We have done that. I'll run you through this spreadsheet in a moment as well. We are going to have wage fluctuation season by season with regards what our wage budget is. So the better we perform, the better our wage budget will be for the next year. If we start to perform poorly, then we will take a financial hit, as you would imagine that we would do. We will track those finances with a spreadsheet. Wage budget can be exceeded, which in FC by default it cannot. In real life you can go over budget. We will allow ourselves to go over budget by the percentages you see on your screen there. Every player sale, regardless of what season, what league, where we are, we will allow 75% of our transfer sale fee to be added into the current season's transfer budget. That transfer budget will be decided upon as a percentage of our starting overall bank balance each season. And that percentage will change depending on what league we're in. You can see the examples on the screen there. We've started with the 23-24 team and with the 23-24 leagues. We contemplated promotions and relegations as we would normally do with a summer save here on the channel. We'd normally take control of one of the most recent promoted sides from the Championship to the Premier League and take on that challenge. I am going to do an Ipswich Town save on FC25 once Portman Road is added into the game, which hopefully will come quicker than Kenilworth Road for Luton. We will not be signing any player that is higher rated than anyone in our current team. That will restrict the progression and slow things down. In terms of progression and slowing things down as well, we will not assign any coaches. So we will not have players grow by 7 or 8 ratings in a single season. Their growth will be slowed. We will use development plans to grow a player in a certain direction, but they will not be able to grow by more than 3 a season. Live Editor can maintain the weak foot and skill move thing as well. So obviously, if you want to grow someone in a certain way, sometimes you're kind of forced to improve their weak foot or skill moves as well. We'll make a mental note, chat will be with me as well, and then we will just reset their weak foot and skill move. I've got alerts turned off. We will reset their weak foot and skill move accordingly so that we don't end up with everybody having 5-star skills and 5-star weak foot. However, we do have some award winners. We will be issuing awards for, you can't see this because I'm in the way, but Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, Fans Player of the Year, Most Improved Player of the Year, Signing of the Season and Goal of the Season. Every award winner from there will be allowed to grow by an extra 1 each season, and that obviously will change in flux between seasons. Player signings in League One will remain domestic in nationality and probably in selling club as well. However, if there is, for example, an English or Scottish player that's playing abroad that we think we could realistically tempt home, then we will consider that. Similarly, Championship will be European, widening the net, and once we get to the Premier League, we will sign anyone from anywhere. To the best of my ability, I will also try and match squad rulings for each competition, i.e. a squad registration, homegrown players for European competition, cup tie rulings for FA Cup, etc. Things like that. No more loanees, no more than 5 loanees, as the example, in a League One squad. We're going to try and implement that to the best of our ability. It's going to be really difficult to track, so do forgive me if there are any mistakes made on that front. We will also, when it comes to signing players in, be quite strict with the squad roles that we're offering. I won't just give anyone what they want. I will only try and sign players for what I think they will do in my team. However, if in certain circumstances we think that they're being super unrealistic with what they're asking for because FC isn't that well made in that regard, then perhaps with the live editor we can sign someone and then lessen their contracts. That will be decided upon by the live audience in the moment, which is another reason why you should come and join me on stream. When we're selling to a team, we will make sure that the sale makes sense, i.e. if a player is leaving, potentially leaving to another club to be a 5th choice right back and it's more of a sideways step, doesn't really make much sense. We will be happy to reject that potential move depending on, of course, the stature of that club. When it comes to offering new contracts to entice players to stay, if release clauses are met, we are allowed to do that, but of course we will be restricted with our financial limitations of our wage budget. I won't be allowed to offer a player a larger contract to stay if I can't physically afford to with my wage budget. We'll show you how we're going to be tracking all the finances in a moment. We will only accept teams, bids from teams who would realistically offer for that player. We mentioned that in the precursor episode. For example, no Serie B side is going to be bidding for a League One English player. That's just not going to happen in real life. We won't have it happening in the save, but as the save progresses, obviously things will change. We'll have to tweak our expectations accordingly because, of course, in save, our reputation, our stature, etc. will grow, unlike in real life, where at the minute Cambridge are locked to a bottom half League One side. Stadium upgrades are allowed, but we will figure out the finances of that in due course when we get there. I will only sign youth players whose max potential is at most 10 higher than that of my current highest rated player. That at the moment is Liam Bennett at 66. So as it stands, I'm not allowed to sign any youth players that have a potential window higher than 76 rated. That will keep the squad all kind of moulded together as well, and ensure that we don't just have loads of youth players come in that exponentially improve the team, exponentially improve the finances, and speed up the growth in an unrealistic manner. We will, at your discretion, nominate a senior affiliate club. Now, those of you that play Football Manager will be aware of what that is already. A senior affiliate is a club that you, as a smaller club, have a link with that you then get priority loans from. For example, Cambridge United would, e.g., create a senior affiliateship with Arsenal. I would then be able to get priority access to Arsenal loan players ahead of others, and I would prioritise going to Arsenal to loan Arsenal players over signing a loan player from someone else. If you have a suggestion for a senior affiliate for us in this first season at Cambridge United, then do let me know in the comment section down below. And when it comes to the contract roles, again, if we feel like the game is being a bit not very well made in that aspect, then we will alter things with the live editor. We've covered that in a slightly earlier rule as well. And of course, again, the live chat will have their final say on that. So, how are we tracking everything? You may have seen slightly earlier on when I switched here to show you the awards. This is how we're tracking our player wages, our squad, etc. through each season. If you would like an in-depth video on how the spreadsheet works and how I'm going to be altering things, then do let me know in the comment section. I'm just going to skim over it here. If you'd like a more in-depth video as a one-off, then I'm happy to make one. So each season we'll update the playing staff. That will then dictate what our wage budget is. Our transfer budget is going to be dictated by our overall balance at the beginning of each new individual season. And our current league position will dictate a number of different aspects with regards to our wage budget. And we can see on the fly what our wage budget will be for the next year. So on the finances tab, our transfer budget at the start of the season was £449,000 because that was 30% of our original starting bank balance as per the rules. In League One, 30%. In the Premier League, 75%. And in between, in the Championship, 50%. We will be retaining 75% of player sales for all transfers throughout the entirety of the save. That will not change. Our wage budget overspend is going to be altered depending on what league we're in. You'll notice my wage budget original was 67,447 because that was, just to set us up for the save, 15% higher than my current committed wage spend. At present, that wage spend is £58,650, meaning I have available to me £8,797.50 in my wage budget. With the editor, I can keep on top of the in-game finances so that we have the right amount of money available to us at any given time. I can, with my 10% wage budget overspend for being in League One, afford to go up to £15,542 available in my wage budget. And with us currently sitting in the top half, because the league hasn't started yet, my next season's wage budget would be £74,192. However, we anticipate finishing in the bottom half, meaning at present, my wage budget would actually go down to £60,702, which at the moment is above what my committed spend is, but obviously leaves much less wiggle room. So finishing as well as possible is going to be crucial. Now I'm going to track all of the finances that come in and out of the club via the in-game finances tab. It doesn't work that well. Ignore the 3 that are here already. That was us setting up the save. This doesn't work that well, but it works, we believe, with the testing we've done, well enough to be able to maintain an accurate figure for the finances and to be able to run the realistic financial restrictions that we would like to for the save. I appreciate this has been a wordy opening part to the episode, but this is going to be that sort of save. It's a realistic save. It's a save where we're going to be checking data a lot of the time. We're going to be micromanaging a lot of different things, players' growth, player transfers, finances, etc. I do have finances available to me at the moment. If you believe there is an area of the squad that I should look to improve in terms of position, then do let me know. We currently have 28 players at the club. I'll show you the squad. If you think there's an area I can improve in, let me know. But with only a minimal transfer budget available, as we showed you, of £449,000, there aren't going to be that many players available to buy at this stage, which is more realistic for a League One side, especially a bottom half League One side. They would more likely prioritise a free signing, a free agent signing. So that might be what we look to do. But of course, within the rule set of only signing someone that, whilst we're in League One, is either domestic nationality, domestic in selling club, or both. So the squad as it stands: Jack Stevens is our number one goalkeeper. He's a new player in real life for this 23-24 season. We've got Will Mannion, who's only got 12 months left on his contract. Similarly, James Holden as well. I'm happy to loan out Holden at this stage. He's only 21. Left back, Harrison Dunk will be leaving us at the end of this season. As per the rules, I mentioned the retained player. Actually, I don't think I did mention the retained players. I mentioned the season that we were running, 23-24. Cambridge United have, in real life, announced which players will be leaving the club at the end of this real life season. I will replicate that in save. So players that are leaving in real life will leave in this save. Harrison Dunk is one of those. Danny Andrew is my other left back. We've only 2 aging left backs. Maybe that's an area you think we should look into, but maybe we make the most of Harrison Dunk and Danny Andrew in the meantime at this particular stage. We also have Brandon Hornstrup, whose contract is also expiring in 12 months' time. He's also leaving the club IRL, so we will keep him at the club till the end of the season and let him leave. Ryan Bennett and Michael Morrison are my 2 more experienced centre-backs and at present highest rated centre-backs, although we do have Jibril Okadino, still only 22, although he's been transfer listed by the club in real life, which we may well replicate in save as well next season. Zeno Ibsen Rossi is 22 and with decent potential as well to grow. And then Mamadou Job only has a year left on his contract, but I imagine we'll be extending that at the given time. At right back, you saw that Liam Bennett was our highest rated player. He's going to be our go-to at right back. We do have backup at the moment, James Gibbons, in on loan from Bristol Rovers. In the centre of midfield, we saw that we're playing a 4-2-3-1. We don't actually have any centre mids at the club in terms of their overall position. CDMs and cams are all we currently have. 64 rated Jordan Cousins and Paul Digby will be the main starters. Adam May obviously will complement that. We do have Lewis Simper as well, although Simps, I believe, was part of the retained list too, so he will be leaving at the end of the season. I'll define that later in the season when we get to the January transfer window. We have a better idea of who's grown, who we want to keep, who we're going to let go, and what our financial situation looks like there. I'm not going to do too much in this opening transfer window, but we will be open to signing a couple of players if you guys would like me to. The transfer window is open for all of the other AI clubs as well. Sele Kaikai is going to be my starting left-sided player. James Brophy is going to be my starting right-sided player. Lancaster can play anywhere across that middle 3. George Thomas or Elias Kachunga will be my starting in the cam role. And again, Elias can play anywhere across the front 4, in fact, as you can see, has striker in his positional set there. Glenn McConnell has just signed a new real-life contract for 3 years. So I may look to replicate that in this save as well. That's happened literally within the past 48 hours of recording this episode. Up top at striker, Fajiri is the go-to, I think, with a bit of pace. But he is leaving the club as part of the retained list at the end of the season. Lyle Taylor doing the same. He came in real life this season and will leave at the end of this season. And of course, Macaulay Bonne and Ghassan Hadmeh are in on loan. Sekou Jana I believe is probably not going to be part of my plans for Season 2 moving forward either. If you'd like me to sell Sakes now to raise some funds, or maybe in January, then I'd absolutely be open to it. But where from that squad list do you think we could improve? Ultimately, it's pretty much 62 to 64 across the board in all positions. So the squad is very well rounded, albeit not great for the level we're at the moment. So I don't know how well we're going to do this season. There may well be relegations in this save. It's going to be that kind of save. This is kind of blurring the lines between Football Manager and FIFA or FC. So what we're going to do then is advance, get our pre-season tournament invite done. We'll track the finances. I'm not going to do all of the micromanagement on screen in the YouTube VODs. Obviously on stream we will do it all. But I will give you regular updates with our financial situation and what the ins and outs have been, etc. I won't sell anyone yet, but certainly I will wait for your feedback, as this video is going to go live at probably 10 AM Saturday morning, so that I can then go live at 12 PM this afternoon and record more episodes. So please, feedback in the comment section down below. Lengthy intro, very much aware of that. Let's go and get some gameplay done, shall we? We have Derby County for our first game of the League One season, and that's not going to be easy. If we win this game against Morecambe in pre-season, I believe we have won the pre-season tournament, meaning that we will get a decent amount of money. Now, in my testing, I was never able to do that. I did not win the pre-season tournament. But have we, in the Champions Trophy, finished first? We have. We might just have bagged ourselves 600 grand with that. We have tournament prize money, £600,000. That's huge. That's effectively almost half our overall bank balance. That's a giant step forward for us. That's absolutely massive. Youth player, we do have one future star. His window is 74 to 94, so ordinarily, because of our obvious limitations on youth players, I would say don't use him. But the fact that he's starting at 50 and has so far to go, I'm happy for Joseph Vegas to be the exception, with him being the starting scout future star, etc. By the time he gets to a rating where he's into the starting lineup, we are going to be far enough down the line that the potential window will work for him. So happy with him to stay at this stage. We'll be in the youth squad moving forward, unless you guys would like me to call him up and use him or loan him. But of course, with the stipulations always that nobody can grow by more than 3 in any given season. So it's going to take him 3 or 4 seasons to get to the point of being near the first team squad, or at least usable anyway. So that's huge. That prize money is absolutely massive for us. Pre-season prize money, £600,000. So I can add that into my spreadsheet here. Prize money, 600 grand. That's unbelievable. That's huge. Look what that does to our overall bank balance. It throws it forward, jumps us massively up. We now have a bank balance that is significantly higher than we were when we started. We're currently at a £2 million bank balance when we started at 1.4. That's massive for our future financial objectives. Also sold some season tickets, as you can see here, paying our player wages and continually raising funds via shirt sales. So I'm going to stay on top of my financial spreadsheet, and then we shall push towards that first game of the season against Derby County at home. So we arrive at match day 1 of this League One season. Derby County, one of the best sides in this entire division, have gotten themselves promoted in real life, and I'm sure we'll be looking to do the same in this save as well. We're both playing a wing play style. They've got a 5 at the back formation, but you'll notice their average ratings for each position is better than ours. We were 62 to 64. They appear to be 66 to maybe 68. We might even have some players that are slightly higher rated on an individual basis. Mendes Lang is going to be dangerous on the right. They're going to be really creative with Conor Hurahan in the central midfield roles. This is going to be a particularly difficult opening game. Derby a 2-star side. We are a 1.5-star side. I do have youth scouts, speaking of stars, that are applicable to our, or relative to our level within the league hierarchy as well. We will only be scouting domestically, of course, in the first few seasons. Our youth scout countries will replicate our transfer policy with regards where we're scouting relative to our division. So, my starting lineup looks as you see it there. Stevens, Andrew, Morrison, Bennett, Brophy, Digby, Cousins, Kai, Thomas, and Fajiri Okunabiri at the Cladara Abbey Stadium. Let's get the season kicked off. Now, you guys are going to want to know what my sliders are. If you go to my Twitch stream or to my YouTube live stream and put !sliders in the chat, then you will get a screenshot of what the sliders are. I can pop that out on social media for you as well if you would like. These are the sliders we're using for the CPU. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I've done a lot of talking already. And these are the sliders we're using for me as the user. We're playing on Legendary. We've done plenty of testing with the gameplay as well, so we think we're in the sweet spot for the moment for League 1. Of course, that will change as we progress through the divisions, so we may well have to make tweaks to that as we progress. We'll wait and see. Here we go. Cambridge United versus Derby County. We're underway in the RTG. Rooney has run around Saleh Kai there. We do lack some pace in our defensive areas, both at centre-back and at CDM. Oh, great footwork. Good save, Jack Stevens. Centre-backs are very slow. CDMs, in Digby's case, not much faster. Jordan Cousins has some pace about him in the save. Certainly my defending could have been better a moment ago, but George Thomas has stepped in nicely there. And we are trying to get the ball away to play some decent football. We're set up as wing play. We will look to utilise Saleh Kai and James Brophy on the wings, but it is not going to be easy against the side as talented as this Derby County one to get things off. Like we say, promoted in real life, finished second in the league behind Portsmouth, and are going to be a really tough test here. In my testing, I wasn't able to beat them at all. We picked up a couple of draws, but Liam Bennett's getting forward well here. George Thomas, he's in the middle, but he's not the tallest, so I don't really feel confident enough to swing that into him. It's going to take a while to try and break down opposition defences, especially when they're playing 5-back, like Derby are here, but we will give it our best shot. Danny Andrews in the box. Brand new signing, Danny Andrew in real life. That is not the best of first touches from Saleh, and my chance goes. We do like coming down this side of the pitch. You'll have noticed that yourselves as well already. Ryan Bennett chasing after the ball. Should have Danny Andrew underneath that, and we have done. It's Danny Andrews singular, not Danny Andrews, the YouTuber plural. It's a free kick for us, I think, for a handball from them. No chances yet in the opening 22 minutes. A very cagey affair here on the opening day of the League One season. But certainly I anticipate chances on goal coming a little bit more frequent, probably for Derby more so than us, as the game goes on. So they will get this back to Liam Bennett, and then we'll whip a ball into the middle. And Brophy's underneath this. But our first chance of the game and season goes a long way wide. It's done me there with that fake throw. Absolutely sent me. Conor Hurahan out to Elder. Bennett's with him. Bennett steps in nicely. It's good defending from the young man. One of the best prospects to come out of the Cambridge United youth system in a number of years, Liam Bennett, and hopefully he'll be with us for quite a while in this save. We might be able to catch him on the break here. And George Thomas has stolen that away from the defender, and Cashin is going to try and close me down here. Has Thomas got enough? Maybe not, but Fajiri's in the box. Okunabiri outside of the post for Cambridge United. No, opening goal of the season. Brilliant opportunity, without doubt the best that either side have created so far, but sadly not the quality of finish needed to give us the lead. Lancaster is a decent player, albeit transfer listed by Cambridge in real life, and subsequently will be in this save too at the end of the season. We're going to look to make the most of these players whilst we have them at the club. And hopefully we can finish better than the 18th that Cambridge United mustered IRL this year. Fajiri looking for the ball over the top. Brophy with a header inside. Cousins now looking to lift it. It will find its way out wide. Bennett will recover that. Trying to keep it alive. Morrison to Danny Andrew. Not much room here. Danny Andrew is a bit of a free kick specialist for us. Through there looking for the runner. Jordan Cousins will just get a shot away. And we'll wish we hadn't. It's cash in. Driving forward from defence now for Derby, as they're maybe going to commit a few more bodies forward. We shall wait and see. Fornar into Horahan. And Fornar again. Lots of Derby County bodies forward here. It's Dwight Gale. Yes, that's Dwight Gale off the bench for them here. Blackett-Taylor now looking to create another chance for them. Mendes-Lang has the effort, but that is well over the top of the bar. Excellent creation, but not excellent clinicality from their front line. I had no idea that that little reverse ball was coming. That was brilliantly put together. Shame about the finish. That's a great ball. Can Bennett get there first, though? Yes, he can. Through the gap is Saleh Kaikai looking to turn away from the defenders around him. Liam Bennett could get forward here. Ghassan Ahadme's found him. In the middle is Jack Lancaster. Is he underneath this? He is! And Vickers makes a good save. Was he onside? He was. It's going to be a... No. No, he wasn't. He was offside. Good opportunity, though. It is leaning like it might well end up as a 0-0 draw here. But with us hitting the post, them having a one-on-one missed, there have been opportunities for either side to win this game. With the nature of the sliders and the quality of player, the amount of chances created in these early seasons isn't going to be comparable to that of the Leeds United save, where obviously we had 80 to 90 rated players. We're now in the mid to low 60s. So don't expect 6-6 scorelines and 10 shots apiece. It's going to be very tactical and very low scoring, I imagine, in these early weeks at least, until I get fully up to speed with the team, and then hopefully we can start to put together some results. Here's Dwight Gale, though, and there's the bit of quality that has been missing thus far in this game. And, well, if there was ever a striker on the pitch that had the quality and the calibre to score the goal in a 1-0 win, it was going to be Dwight Gale, wasn't it? Derby 1, Cambridge 0 in the 88th minute. I think that might be us losing this one to start the season off. Final whistle sounds, and, well, we called this the realistic RTG, and in real life, in the season just gone, that was exactly what the scoreline was as well. So realistic gameplay and realistic scorelines thus far to go with as well, 100% across the board. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this realistic RTG. Please do make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any more of the content. I'm going to go back now to the menus, update all of the financial implications of the first game of the season, most notably match day sale figures, and hopefully the transfer budget for next season will look better because our bank balance is going to continue to go up. MK Dons have bid for Will Mannion. He's not a goalkeeper I was contemplating selling. MK Dons, however, are in the league below as well. So what I would like to do is have a look at their team stats and see. I can do that via the FA Cup tab. See what their squad looks like. If he would be a starting player for MK Dons, 57, 52... 57, which he would be, he'd be higher rated than any other goalkeeper at MK Dons. I believe that Will Mannion would probably want that first team spot. They've not bid too much over his valuation though. He's 4 ratings behind Jack Stevens as it stands, so I will try and negotiate a little bit more money here, but I think it would be the realistic thing to do for a backup goalkeeper for me to want to take that first team spot in the league below at a club that just been relegated from League 1 and would be looking to get an automatic promotion this season. MK Dons are going to be challenging at the top end of League 2, and it looks like that deal is going to happen. Will Mannion might well be on his way out of Cambridge United. Our first result of the season sees us stay 19th in the division, and Will Mannion is gone. We have sold Will Mannion to MK Dons for £240,000. I feel like that is the most realistic thing to do with that transfer bid. As such, I will now take James Holden off the loan list. However, maybe you guys think we should look for a free agent goalkeeper and still loan James Holden out. That's something we certainly can consider. I'm now going to go and adjust my spreadsheet and then come back to you. Now, it is my intention to give Reading and Wigan their realistic points deductions from this season. I just tried it with the live editor by moving the points tally into the minus. As you can tell, didn't really go that well. So what I've done is set them back to what they were. And once Reading have more than 6 points, I can take 6 off them. And once Wigan have more than 8 points, I can take 8 off them. And they will have their realistic league positioning points tallies from this season in real life as well. So our result sees us in 19th. Thankfully, we are okay and outside the relegation zone at the moment. And the finances we've updated on the spreadsheet as well. So Will Mannion sold to MK Dons. And if I bring the spreadsheet up for you here as well, you can see that now players sold 240,000 is in there. We've spent £5,000 on our youth facilities, continually making money from shirt sales and losing money, of course, through player wages. But what we need to do now is take Will Mannion out of this list because, of course, he is now no longer at the club. So I'm going to do this and then move everybody else up. And, of course, automatically then, these figures on the right-hand side will update. You'll notice that the current committed wages tally has dropped because we've removed Mannion from that list, and as such my wage budget remaining this season has now gone up, and that's where we sit right now. So we've spent we've made £240,000. So as such, with 75% of that sale being added into my transfer budget, which is currently sat from having not spent a penny at 450 grandish, I have a transfer budget now of basically £630,000. My wage budget is 10,297. Now we can't sign anyone that's higher rated than Liam Bennett at the moment at 66. But do we consider signing a goalkeeper that is higher rated than Jack Stevens? Or do we hold off on that for the time being and see what the scenario is with the rest of the squad by the time we get to January? Are there any other areas you feel like I should improve in? Do you think we maybe need an out-and-out central midfielder, an out-and-out CM, considering we don't have any in the squad? And from one spreadsheet to another, we might not have any centre mids in our squad, but there are some centre mids from the Patreon players. Continually, you guys involved in this save. Some of you free agents, some of you starting at a club of your choice. Bradford Soti are not a thing, but Bradford City are. Everybody, I've rearranged how I list this, so it's actually going to be much easier to track now for me when I'm updating the spreadsheet. Some of you, like I say, at clubs of your choice, some of you free agents. Those of you that are listed as free agents, if you would like to have started at a different club and not be a free agent, then do let me know, either via a message on Patreon or social media, etc. And I can update you and pop you at a club to start the save. Everyone that's at a club left the comment in the comment section of that post to say they wanted to start at a different club. Anyone that didn't leave a comment with a potential club for them is listed as a free agent. So in game, I have you all on the transfer hub. For those of you that aren't familiar with what a Patreon player is, to help fund my career, so to speak, and crowdfund, and for you guys to have some input on the content in a unique way of your own, I have various different tiers on my Patreon, of course. But one of the higher tiers is called the big one, or the VIP tier, where you can have a player in your likeness added into my save, and we track your career throughout the course of the save with your growth and your transfer moves, etc. You also get a gifted subscription on Twitch, which is worth £5, and the VIP badge on Twitch in chat as well. So if you'd like to have a look at the Patreon, there is a link to it in the description down below. Now that we're on PC on the live editor, I can add you guys in on the fly mid-save rather than having to wait for each save to update it. So if you would like to join, feel free. Of course, there's no pressure to do so. I know it's a sizable financial commitment. So some of you are free agents, some of you are not, some of you are at clubs. You're all 16 to 19 years of age. I wasn't really too precise with the birthdays as they went in, and you're all mid to late 50s. Because this is going to be such a long-term save, you guys are going to have to start much lower down to then grow further up through the save as we progress. I also have lessened your potential from the 97 it was in the last save to 92 in this save. So your Patreon players, when they reach their max potential, will still be within the realms of the realistic sort of players alongside the world's best in this save, rather than still being another echelon above like you were in previous saves. So you'll only go as far as 92, but it should take 6, 7 plus seasons for you to get there. And who knows what sort of journeys you will have been on in the meantime. As ever, if you'd like to have a look in more detail at your players' stats, then do come and join me on stream and I can give you a more detailed rundown. I'll wait and see what you guys say with your feedback, but we've gone through the rules. You can see how the finances are building, and you can see how the squad and the budgets are altering in real time as well. Let me know what you think of everything you've seen in this opening episode. Not every episode will be as waffly as this. Obviously, it's going to be the sort of save where there's a lot of off-camera stuff done as well. So if occasionally I miss an upload, do forgive me. But the plan is to maintain the 3 p.m. every weekday moving forward. Of course, this is going live 10 a.m. Saturday. I will have an upload for you Sunday as well. And then we'll lead into the 5 weekday uploads at 3 p.m. But there should be an episode for you tomorrow here on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on, and I will see you in episode 2.